Okay. Our discussion topic today is what's going on in the world right now. And we have experts from around the world to discuss this issue, or at least people are going to try to pretend to be experts. Uh, our guest is Stacey. Stacey, thank you for being here. And you were talking about Saint Germain. What were you saying? Anyway,
So
what you want to say.
yeah, sure. I found it really interesting because the gentleman asked Claire Prophet a question pertaining to why was our world chosen to be the place where we would, ascend or do you know, um,
Life.
our clearing and what we need to do as humans, as God's children. And her answer was really interesting. She began just to kind of, from what I remember, talk about um, the environment, the plants, that this was a ultimate planet to be able to live, you know, in such a way where we would be able to make that ascension within a shorter period of time for us. And I think she said sometime during the fourth root race, when they were here,
Wait,
that's when the
stop. Fourth root race. What does that mean?
fourth root race, uh, there's different, how can I say, I don't know how to describe it. It's like
Okay.
that. And so
Well, anyway, there's
there's just root races that were here, and it was such a long time ago, their original DNA, and so when we were first here, we just weren't interrupted at that time, like we didn't have outside interference. We may have been at a higher vibration. And she just made it seem to be as though we had these outside interferences from other beings that came from other planets, and they had destroyed their own planet. And she mentioned what planet it was, and I can't think of it at this moment, but when she said they came, they're just of a different planet and of a lower vibration. Their purpose is not what our purpose is. And so therefore, when we look around and we see these beings and they're doing all these things, they may have our appearance but they're just not here for what our purposes are. So that's where it kind of makes me think what you just said. When we look around, all these things are happening. These beings have just ran amok for such a long time while we're here, and we're not fully awake to get them off the.
I see. Anyway, by the way, we're still waiting for Mike to get online.
Okay.
I can see, but I sent some
Okay.
text messages to him, but I don't know if you can see the text messages. Uh, yeah, well, as far as Oahspe is concerned, they don't really speak of mortal races traveling the cosmos. They speak of like really benevolent higher beings who are helping our world, the Etherians, traveling, and that's very cool, and that's a very promising, nice idea.
Yes.
On the other hand, I have heard this idea of some of the top elitist people seeming kind of strange, like they were demonic or some foreign
Yeah.
alien entity. And I thought, wow, that's weird and scary. So
Yeah.
if you want my opinion, and there's no fact in this, but what I think it is, it's a dimensional thing. They didn't come here in spaceships. The people that are causing all the trouble at the top, whether it's, I hate to say names, but Zuckerberg or Biden, for example, and others, there's a long list of Soros. Um, I think they've basically been possessed by lower beings, demonic beings, and sometimes they appear to others as monsters. Sometimes I've heard people
Mhm.
look at them and say, wow, they look like lizards or something. And
Yeah.
my response is, well, it's probably the entity that's possessing them is of such a low evil nature that they look monstrous. Oh, Mike's here. Okay. So I don't know if I could say they're from another world, but I would like to say they're from another dimension, the lower dimensions of hell. That's just my take, and I'm not saying I'm right. Mike, are you here?
That's interesting.
Mike, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Mike, we're here with Stacey. We decided to start this. I think we can pray at the end, but we're just going to discuss the condition of the world today. And
Okay.
is that okay with you? How do you feel?
Yeah, that's fine. It's not a problem.
Anyway, Stacey brought up the point that some people, there are some experts, quote unquote, who say that the reason the world's in bad condition is because of alien beings who destroyed their own world and have traveled our world and are working in the top echelons of government and companies to cause bad things to happen. We know
Mhm.
almost everyone's a good person, but these people are just deliberately ruining the economic system and causing wars and so on. My response is, even if people have seen them in their non-human form, I think it's basically spirits from the lowest realms who have possessed these higher beings, and they're causing them to do evil things. Maybe they're
Mhm.
causing them to destroy the food production in different countries, for example, burning down chicken production and all that. It just never seems to stop. Um, and if you see them, they look strange, like a lizard or something. It's because it's their demonic form. And you're just seeing the spirit. Anyway, that's my take. Does this sound too crazy? Do you even begin discussing with you, or what would you like to say?
No, I've sort of heard this before. I know, Candy. We both know Candy.
Yeah,
Candence. She basically has expressed this from some of the psychics that she's been involved with
yeah, she
and
sends out
whatnot.
emails. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I've heard this before. At first, when you talk about the root races, I thought you were talking about theosophy because I know Blavatsky's group talks about the root races and stuff like that.
I don't really get the root race. I mean, Asu, the first man who was on Earth and breeded with the angels to create other races. Is that what you mean by the root race? The Asu race?
Root, well, no, well, I don't know specifically. All I know is when the Ossipists talk about the root races, they're talking about what seems to me to be basically, what we humans are today. It seems to me that they're talking more about the not humans, but probably more the GANs, the various versions of the GANs, that kind of thing. And that's my guess, because it's been a long time since I read anything about theosophy, but I do definitely know they talked about root races and whatnot. So
Uh,
Yeah.
Stacey, go ahead. Can you comment on Mike's points?
Um, well, I forgot how because I also used to read like an old text. I think it was called, it was Sybil. I was trying to find it, what it was called, but she went into all the root races and said
mhm,
what they all did over generations of time, that this race did this race did this. It was really interesting. And see, like all the books usually confirm each other some type of way. So they each have like a piece of the puzzle. But I did forward you something just now that I copied and made notes to myself what some of these books would reference. And regarding what you're talking about, this one little reference here is what got me. This was, I think, out of the Emerald Tablets. And it said, far in the past, before Atlantis existed, men there were delved into darkness, using dark magic, calling up beings from the great deep below us. Forth came into this cycle, and formless they were of another vibration, existing unseen by the children of earthmen. Only through blood could they have formed their being. Only through man could they live in the world. And then it says, in ages past, were they conquered by masters and driven below to the place whence they came. But it says, some there were who remained, hidden in spaces and in plains known to man. Lived they in Atlantis shadows, but at times they appeared among men. It says, when the blood was offered, for they came to dwell among men, and in form of man they are amongst us, but only to sight where they are as men. serpent-headed. When the glamour was lifted, but appearing to man as men, then they crept into councils, taking form that were like men, slaying by their arts, their chiefs of their kingdoms, taking their form and ruling over man. Only by magic could they be discovered. Only by sound can their faces be seen. So that tells you what they did, and they're still here doing that. So like if a certain vibration were to be played, such as a certain notes on maybe like they say church organs have powerful, they used to heal full temples of people with those church organs when they would play certain frequencies. So somehow they're hiding from us, and they lose their form when things happen, but they're hiding and we think that they're people and they're really not. That's how they do all these very evil things.
Mike, any comment?
I don't know. I just like, what's the name of this book? What's the source? Because I always ask.
It's Emerald Tablets.
Oh, this is Emerald Tablet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So I mean, really all of the books interconnect though, because what Oahspe says, it says the same thing that I've read in these books. It's just some of them explain stuff a little differently, but they all say the same stuff.
They're talking about different races, so they're, there are similarities for sure. I just think that sometimes they're glamorized, sometimes a little bit more, especially in some of the older texts. And some of the newer stuff too, because I've heard, the reptilians and the Arterians and all kinds of different races. And of course, as Bob mentioned earlier, the ones that look like reptiles, and I've heard all that. So,
But
I don't know. It's just, like you said, I think it's a take on the same thing, just a different take on all the other stuff.
I would like to say that I've heard sort of corresponding stories where you hear these satanic rites where they take blood. I've heard specific political leaders like Hillary Clinton and a few others where they did blood sacrifices of some kind. And
now all the stuff is coming out with these rappers and entertainers. It's like Hollywood is getting exposed what they do
out there. So
it is.
But I don't want us to say that even though the world looks like it's in dire straits, there is the creator of the universe. There are angelic powers that are far greater than any of these demonic clowns. And I think that's why it's more important than ever for all of us to pray and work together.
Yes.
Maybe we've only got about 7 minutes left. Time went too fast because of my slow processing.
Okay.
Maybe we could just pray about this one time each.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, are you with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
O creator of the universe, you are the center, you are the essence of our spirit. You are the all in all. And we have absolute faith in you. And so also we must also have absolute faith in one another. We are all thy children, so we are all brothers and sisters of light. And even if on the surface there are some things not going so well in the world, you are the power and the love and the wisdom that can heal us all and to correct our course. So we are here now to affirm that you are going to guide us to a higher state of harmony. Now, the affirmation is, the creator in us is the harmony uniting us. 3 times, please. The creator in us is
the creator in us.
In us.
In us.
Creator in us is the harmony, is the unity. The creator is the harmony that is the unity within us. 3 times silent, please. Just quietly say it. Go ahead, Stephanie. Would you pray?
Yes. Father, great spirit, thank you for this time that we're gathered and talks of your love and your planet and your humans that you have put here to excel. And Father, thank you for the darkness being exposed, that all the humans at this time are having an opportunity to know the truth and see the light and know that we're here for a different purpose. And may our ascension and may our higher thoughts be attuned to you so we can raise the vibration in love on this planet. Father, we know that the most powerful is your love and your truth, being authentic and continuing to be the earth children that you've created us to be. May your whole earth become a garden. May it be filled with love and unity and peace. And may we accomplish that and execute it with all the masters that assist us, with all the angelic beings that assist us. Father, please continue to help us in our spirits and our souls and our minds, that we live out the purpose that you've called for each one of us to be, in creativity and work and love and compassion and unity, and let us help the world become healed, the waters, the plants, and the animals. And may we be healed in our minds and our bodies in truth and in love, and by doing the right thing and saying our words in love and being forgiving beings and practicing all the virtues that your angels have paved the way for us to. Thank you for our guardian angels that watch over us. Thank you for all the help that we are now receiving from the higher light on the planet. And may we all be protected and loved in this time as we continue to raise our own selves in your love. And the affirmation is, I am that I am in love. I am that I am in love.
I am that
I am that I am in love.
I am that
I am what I am in love.
am that I am in love.
I am that I am in love.
Quick, in silence. Mike, could you please pray?
Of course. Almighty All Father, Great Spirit, Jehovah Anum, we are so grateful to be able to come together in this space and time to worship you and to uplift the highest principles and the highest light. We ask that you give us assistance in making this place a better world.
Yes.
That we become together in brotherhood and sisterhood, and that you teach us how to pray and how to grow to a better world and to a better place. Teach us that words are great, but actions are better.
Yes.
Teach us how to go about creating your garden on this planet. Show our leaders the way that we may know, that they may know, so these things can come to pass. And the affirmation is, actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words.
Actions
speak louder than words.
Actions speak louder
than words.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much, Stacey. Great prayers, great blessings.
Prayer Blessing Zoom sessions are held about every 2 weeks. Please join with us to create light and love blessings for our world. You may have noticed our world could use a lot of good prayers and blessings. Sincerity and good will mean everything in this work. To join a session, email bob@robertbyer3741@yahoo.com. We are all angels of the Creator in the making. For we are a blessing, as love is our power. Please like, share and subscribe.